very much for joining us. This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Ruth, Aguele. Let's begin by telling you that Nigeria is gaining more foreign direct investments because of the new policy of the federal government that guarantees investors confidence with enabling business environment. Foreign Desk correspondent Usman Ali reports that the new Iran's administration of Ibrahim Raisi understands positive economic gains being provided in the present Nigeria and has concluded plans to establish direct shipping and flight service with Nigeria. Let's see that.
Iran and Nigeria, big nations in Asia and Africa with different development challenges. The meeting here provides opportunity for the top diplomatic officials representing the two countries to present to each other proposals to improve on their joint economic cooperation. Trade relation expansion, which Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs Jeffrey Onyama identified, was welcomed by Iran's Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian. Iran says it is willing to establish direct shipping line and flight services in Nigeria.
I think these are important infrastructures that we have to put in place to facilitate and re-dynamize the relationship, especially trade relationship between our two countries, and we will do that together.
Algeria, Cote d'Ivoire, and Kenya are all seeking to explore more areas of collaboration with Nigeria. Hence, their ministers of foreign affairs met Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs Jeffrey Onyama.
With regards to ECOWAS, we are going through a process of reform at ECOWAS, and of course Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire are amongst the sort of the big countries of ECOWAS. So we were discussing the various developments that are about to take place, and just making sure that we're all on the same page.
These new diplomatic directions point to a destination which development experts say can change dependency to single source of economy and social development. In New York, Usman Aliyu, NTA News.
Still staying in New York, President Muhammadu Buhari has addressed the 76th United Nations General Assembly, calling for a worldwide arms treaty critical to ensuring the security of nations and curbing trans-border crimes, reiterating Nigeria's commitment to leading African nations to reduce or end proliferation of arms on the continent. President Buhari also reiterated Nigeria's commitment to attending the eradication of nuclear weapons conference in solidarity with global disarmament goals.
Nuclear Prohibition Treaty Review Conference would lead to a successful outcome that would facilitate the nuclearization of the world. We will do our part to ensure such an outcome. Mr. President, terrorism continues to dominate security discourse worldwide. In Nigeria, Boko Haram, terrorist group, though fragmented by internal strife and weakened by our defense forces, is still active and preying on soft targets.
President Buhari's address also acknowledged the global impact of COVID-19 on finances, acknowledging the burden of debt on nations and calling for enhanced financial services to enable economic recovery, in line with the Assembly's theme of recovering from COVID-19 and rebuilding sustainably. President Buhari's presentation also noted global food shortages exacerbated by activities of Boko Haram terrorists and made a commitment to ending terrorist threats while calling for urgent action in order to mitigate its effects. All right, we join our correspondent now live, Usman Aliyu. Usman, I'm sure you followed up the president's address. Can you give us an overview of that address?
Exactly, Ruth. I will listen to the president's speech at the United Nations General Assembly debate, and you know, this debate is targeted for 5 days, where world leaders will come and address issues regarding to the global peace, human rights, and sustainable development. And the president's speech centered on those major key issues that have been raised by the United Nations and other world leaders. He spoke second to the president of the Cyprus, and President Buhari gave reassurance to the global community of the commitment Nigeria is making on fighting COVID-19, which has ravaged the world, destroyed the economy across all over. Now the United Nations, through this general debate that it is holding for these 5 days, is making world leaders and other countries to be courageous so that the rebuilding of states and other countries ravaged by COVID-19 will be successful. And he also spoke about the issue of peace and security, as well as the nuclearization process of the global agenda. He spoke about how Nigeria is supporting the cause of the United Nations towards the nuclearization program, as well as how Nigeria is fighting terrorism within the country and how it is supporting ECOWAS community to achieve peace and stability. So if you look at the speech by the president, he's telling a lot of things about what Nigeria is doing to align with the global community in terms of achieving and assuring the global community of sustainable peace and development.
Okay, Usman, no doubt the president made a strong case for Nigeria, especially when it comes to the fight against terrorists. But I'm sure you may have spoken to some other diplomats who are not Nigerians. What are their reactions regarding the president's address at the 76th session?
Nigerians that are there, you know, this time there are restriction as a result of COVID-19. But the many people who have watched President speaking there, they are very much impressed of the way President Muhammadu Buhari brought these issues and addressed them, as well as tell the global community how he is trying to ensure that Nigeria achieve all those issues raised by him and the global leaders.
All right, no doubt. Thank you very much, Usman. We'll definitely keep in touch with you. Thank you for your time with us on the news.
Thank you very much.
All right, our correspondent there live from New York giving us an update on this president's speech at the 76th session of the United Nations. Let's still stick with the hunger. Realizing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 17 requires significant investment in youth development. Participants at the 76th UN General Assembly, while giving account of the progress made by their governments, are optimistic it is the best shot at curbing youth restiveness globally. Let's hear more from Charles Alpha.
In September 2015, the General Assembly adopted the 2030 agenda that includes 17 sustainable development goals. Building on the principle of leaving no one behind, the agenda emphasizes a holistic approach to achieving sustainable development for all race. From Namibia to Istanbul, Saudi Arabia, and New York, Ministers of Youth and Sport and World Youth Partnership for Global Development highlighted intensive engagement of governments in contingencies relating to adaptive skills and training of the youth.
The Ministry of Youth continues to partner with organizations, including UN organizations, to promote activities focusing on peace building, active civic participation through our youth debates and national youth parliaments.
Sport is a tool to address many challenges that we know. Apart from that, also it again hinges on mental health issues. So the I'm With You campaign is really a campaign that we foresee will make a difference in our people's lives.
You reach a certain objective based on who you have in your team and who you partner with to reach that goal.
To achieve global peace, a partnership that includes the youth through social support services and knowledge sharing, they opined, is key. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
All right, let's turn our attention back home. A special national awards ceremony will be among activities to mark the nation's 61st independence anniversary celebration. Correspondent Mitari Ikpen reports that Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information and Culture, Ifoma Anyawutaku, disclosed this at a pre-independence anniversary press conference in Abuja, where she represented Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed.
The national honors and awards are usually conferred on Nigerians and friends of Nigeria in recognition of meritorious service rendered to the benefit of the nation. This press conference signals the commencement of activities marking Nigeria's 61st independence anniversary, and the organizers say a prominent feature of this year's independence celebration will be a special national awards ceremony on the eve of this year's anniversary.
It is an occasion for Nigerians to appreciate the efforts of our forebears at gaining independence from the colonial masters, and to appreciate the varied contributions of successive administrations at building our nation state.
Other activities lined up for Nigeria's 61st independence celebration include a special interdenominational church service on the 26th of September, a special anniversary parade at the Eagle Square, Abuja on October 1st, as well as a special Juma service same day at the National Mosque. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
The federal government has alerted the general public to heightened security activities preparatory to the events marking the country's 61st independence anniversary. The alert is contained in a statement issued by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed. The minister, however, urged residents of the Federal Capital Territory and its environs not to panic and to go about their legitimate activities. Residents are also enjoined to report suspicious persons and movements to security agencies through the following numbers displayed on your screen right now. Well, given the recent rise in global natural gas prices and the current low levels of natural storage in various hubs, OPEC Secretariat's report for September 2021 monthly oil market showed that, in line with the average forecast for the past 20 years, weather conditions forecast for the upcoming winter months, October 2021 through March 2022, prevailed as a normal winter. Assuming harsher winter prevails in the upcoming winter months, the price of natural gas will be sustained at high levels, which could provide incentives for switch from natural gas to fuel oil. Going by the September monthly oil market report, world oil demand is estimated to increase by 5.4 million barrels per day. However, sustaining rise in natural gas prices is expected to determine demand for oil due to additional fuel switching, expected only in certain parts of Europe and Asia. The monthly oil market report set additional factors that need to be closely monitored are weather conditions in the Northern Hemisphere, as well as coal to residual price difference. Nigeria and India are to enter a partnership with here to train members of the National Youth Service Corps on an Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation (ITEC) program. Olayinka Ojo will tell us more.
Development of digital skills is an important part of building resilience to economic and social shocks like those presented by the COVID-19 pandemic. These disruptions have transformed the way in which communities, businesses, and individuals operate, communicate, and transfer knowledge. This is why governments and organizations are adopting accelerated measures and solutions in their effort to maintain businesses as well as build information and communication technology. And this visit to the NYSC is to further achieve that objective.
We will be more than delighted to extend our ITEC program to NYSC, under which we have trainings of in a number of areas: IT, financial management, agriculture practices.
Although this has already been recognized in Africa, for the NYSC, the acquisition of digital skills is considered as an edge against unemployment risk, which is one of the focus of the scheme.
And I'm happy to hear from the High Commissioner that they are going to support our core members on ICT training. Apart from promotion of national integration, the aspect of skill acquisition is very, very critical to our core members.
The visit also served as an invitation to India's 75th anniversary. Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
A group of young people on the Kids Code Club Africa have developed digital applications capable of solving socio-economic challenges in every strata of the Nigerian society to place the country on the digital global map. Kenneth Nanim reports.
Young innovative minds seeking simple solutions to complex issues. The solutions profile come in digital formats, from Get Skilled, which aims to solve challenges of unemployment, to Afridama, an application which would ultimately connect dermatologists and their patients. Regis is yet another application for agricultural development, while Milu World is a social interactive platform for celebrities and their fans. The underlying essence and utility value of these applications is to reduce unemployment and poverty, improve quality of education, economic growth and development.
We focus on some skills which are problem management skills, computer practice, collaborative skills, programming skills, plus strategic leadership content.
In a message, Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Ale Pantami, unfolded the 8 pillars of the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy document with focus on the digital skills development of younger people for future economic sustainability drive.
Digital literacy and skills is intended to build a digital literate and digital skilled workforce for the country.
Also, in various messages by relevant agencies, groups, and individuals, including the Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, emphasis was made on why Nigeria must align with the global trend of ICT and digital application.
We at the NTA identify with anything that would be of value, of interest to the population, in line with our mandate.
We need to expose our children to what the world has turned into.
The event also featured the unveiling of a digital issue-based magazine, and some individuals who distinguished themselves in digital technology were rewarded. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Managers of Nigeria's mathematics subsector are seeking a state of emergency in the subject. At the 6th Council of the National Mathematical Center, it was agreed that a national response to the lack of teachers in the subject is vital to the country's goals in science and technology. Let's hear more from Anne Jubono.
The highest decision-making body of mathematics in Nigeria. The Council of the National Mathematical Center is meeting for the second time in Abuja with a strong resolve to restore the status of its center's academic programs as an inter-university center. Another key area of concern also mentioned is the restoration of the Education Trust Fund support for the center's infrastructure to help develop science, technology, engineering and mathematics.
The mandate of this center is to train high-level mathematicians who will work in our universities and research institutions. Particularly, we are to help universities to produce PhDs.
If the result is out for WAEC, we discover that our students are not doing well. That is because we are not taken so seriously in terms of the teaching of mathematics in our schools. The teachers are not well trained. In terms of funding, poor.
It was also agreed that deliberate efforts will be channeled towards enhancing the National Mathematical Center's role in training and retraining of a critical mass of mathematics teachers to prepare them for the challenge of dealing with the phobia associated with the subject. In Abuja, I am Anne Jibuno, NTA News.
The All Progressives Congress Project Inspection Team has visited Ogun State to inspect projects of the Universal Basic Education Board in the Ogun State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. Leader of the inspectorate team, Tom Ohikere, says the federal government is taking steps to revolutionize education sector. Hakim Jumo's report is here presented.
The leader of the federal government UBEC team, Tom Ohikere, said the team is in Ogun State to assess judicious utilization of funds allocated to the state universal basic education. The team inspected projects in schools in Abeokuta South and North local government areas of the state, where they commended the state for judiciously utilizing the funds for intended purposes.
We are preparing ahead of elections. We are preparing campaign materials on evidences of change, evidences of productivity of the party, evidences of service delivery. We have been on this tour across the country for the past 3 months, just on basic education alone. That's to show you the commitment of the party to prove its worth.
Appreciating the federal government efforts at resuscitating the education sector, Secretary Ogun State Universal Basic Education Board, Olalekan Kuye, highlights some projects executed in the state.
For the first time, we have a high number of projects that we are currently taking care of, about 900 and something projects altogether for basic education alone. Our enrollment went up, and so more parents brought their children to public primary schools. Apart from that, in this year alone, we have trained about 8,000 teachers in public primary schools and selected ones in junior secondary schools.
Earlier, the team had an interaction with management of SUBEP in Ogun State, where issues bordering on development of basic education top agenda.
INEC we hear is seeking the collaboration of the National Population Commission to conduct a nationwide electoral constituency delineation exercise. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu made the appeal while playing host to the chairman of the NPC. Mia Ogidi will tell us more.
Nigeria's population still a guesswork. 200 million, above or less? A major national burden because no census has been conducted for the past 16 years. To find a solution to this challenge brought two institutions together, one demographic, another democratic. An accurate data, a currency for credible election and national planning, and the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, needs National Population Commission's assistance in the area of electoral constituency delineation.
Technology cannot help us to identify and remove dead persons from the register of voters. Therefore, I wish to once more appeal to the chairman of the National Population Commission, in your capacity as the Registrar of Birth and Death in Nigeria, to periodically avail us of the data of deceased Nigerians so that we can use the official information from your commission to further clean up the voters register.
Already establishing a national frame for the conduct of census and surveys and continuous birth registration, sorry, not just birth registration, death registration too.
A partnership that has already taken off. A discussion paper prepared by INEC on the delineation of electoral constituencies from the INEC chief to the National Population Commission boss to start the process. Mayor Ogede, NTA News.
All right, let's make a first step to Lagos. Adeola is set to bring us the next set of reports.
Thank you, Ruth. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control is soliciting for more collaboration with telecommunication companies in Nigeria to intensify the fight against COVID-19. This was during a roundtable meeting of the Director General of NCDC with Nigerian telecommunication companies executives to appreciate their contributions to the COVID-19 response. Imoliayo Tokede Ogunfuora has details.
In 2020, Nigeria, like the rest of the world, was faced with a new pandemic which fast spread, destabilized the economy, and left hundreds of people dead. While the virus raged on, so many misinformation led to panic among citizens. To check the trend, the NCDC collaborated with telecommunication companies who gave rapid mobilization of support for SMS dissemination with life-saving information and digitization of surveillance, among others. This meeting is therefore convened to recognize their support to the fight against COVID-19. Even as the virus lingers, the Director General, NCDC, is seeking more collaboration with the telecoms and private organizations to enable the center plan for the future.
We've started with telcos, we've worked with CACOVID. There have been many of those collaborations in the best interest of Nigeria. Our responsibility now is to be strategic about using those resources to build for the future and to build a better country, a more resilient country, a more sustainable response to this outbreak.
The telecom executives pledged their continued support to the service of humanity.
We are ready to support initiatives of government under the leadership of the NCC as a regulator.
We will continue to serve various parties, various institutions of government and the public in as many ways as we can.
As relevant stakeholders in the telecommunication industry and health sector partner to sustain the fight against COVID-19 in the country, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, hopes that this meeting will strengthen national health security for the future. In Lagos, Imoli Ayotukede, Ogunfowora, NTA News.
Now let's talk safety on waterways. Incessant boat mishap is rubbing off on the pride of water transportation as a vital means of mobility in Nigeria. And according to research, illegal operators and failure to adhere to operating procedures are the major factors. As a way of sanitizing the sector, regulators have introduced an electronic boat registration for adequate profiling. Michael Olaleye reports that 3 joint patrol boats were added to enforce compliance.
With a population of more than 20 million people and intense road traffic, it is on record that less than 30% of Lagosians rely on water transportation for mobility. The worries range from poor state of boats, fear of mishap, and non-adherence to safety measures by operators. The regulatory agency has, however, found a winning formula using an electronic boats registration to identify fake and illegal operators. A task force team to monitor activities of operators, especially illegal ones, while strictly enforcing compliance, was also set up.
If you use your boat or you allow it to be used for any illegal purposes, you'll be fished out easily. Or that even if your boat is stolen, it can easily be identified and recovered.
To enhance efficiency while making service delivery a trademark, new patrol boats were put on the waterways. Beyond the strategies put in place for effectiveness, stakeholders here are counting on communities to increase their sensitivity as partners in progress.
We want to know the boats that are certified to be on the waterways. We want to know the captains or the boat operators, their qualification. We know whether they are licensed, whether they are certified to operate these vessels.
This is a total spectrum of enforcement, which key players believe will change the narrative of water transportation in Nigeria. But the hurdles ahead is how to increase capacity that will make the 26 states connected by water in Nigeria navigable. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
We will go on a break now, and when we return, Asmao in Sokoto will give us stories from that zone. Please stay with us.
Has commenced the second phase of COVID-19 vaccination. If you are 18 years and above and unvaccinated, register at www.nphcda.vaccination.gov.ng. Visit the nearest vaccination site to receive AstraZeneca or Moderna COVID-19 vaccine as first dose. If you received your first dose of AstraZeneca vaccine before 8th July, get your second dose now. All COVID-19 vaccines are free and certified safe. At the vaccination site, you can check blood pressure and know your diabetes risk status. Children aged 0 to 23 months will receive childhood vaccines and screened for malnutrition. After vaccination, continue to adhere to COVID-19 prevention protocols. For more information, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng or call 0700-220-1122. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
When you think about hospitality and affordable luxury away from home, then you talk about Sharon Ultimate Hotels, a secured and serene environment that offers kingly services such as 24-hour room service, impeccable security with CCTV surveillance, parking lots, free Wi-Fi internet service, free complimentary breakfast, restaurants that offers continental and local dishes, well-equipped fitness center with instructors, swimming pool, 350 capacity multipurpose hall, laundry service, pastry corner, mini mart, and our suites are breathtaking. For reservation, locate us at plot 1710, Tafawa Balewa Way, Area 3, Garikia, Abuja. Sharon Ultimate Hotels, the ultimate place.
A new edition of TV Guide is out exclusively with Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State.
Since assuming office, our rescue administration has pursued the path of peace and reconciliation and restored confidence among people of different ethnic, religious, and political persuasions. Peace is back on the plateau. We are building world-class infrastructure in roads and opening up opportunities for innovation.
The edition is a compendium of mind-blowing stories for your reading pleasure, ranging from entertainment, economy, sports, media, politics, family, and lots more. Pick up a copy and keep abreast with issues and trending features within our space. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and comprehensive. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Title chasing, Manchester United will have to overcome one more hurdle when they welcome Aston Villa to Old Trafford. Will it continue to be their theatre of dreams, or can Aston Villa throw a spanner in their works? This Saturday, it's Manchester United versus Aston Villa on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 12 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
And welcome to Sokoto on Nationwide. Sokoto State Police Command has arrested 8 persons suspected to be among the angry mob that set ablaze the residence of Commissioner of Career and Security Matters in Isa local government. Commissioner of Police Kola Kamaluddin Okunola disclosed this while confirming the incident to NTA News. Dalhata Abdullahi completes the report.
The Commissioner of Police said a group of youth in the area had organized a security meeting to discuss security matters, which was later hijacked by an angry mob where they set the house of the Commissioner for Security ablaze and stormed the residence of the district head of Isa, Salkingo Bureau of Isa, Alhaji Nasir Ahmad, and destroyed vehicles and other items. Kola Kunala further confirmed that the command had arrested the organizers of the gathering and some of those believed to have taken part in the destruction.
So far now, everything is calm and the situation has returned to normal. There is no cause for alarm anymore while we are investigating.
The Commissioner of Police, Sokoto State, Kola Kamaluddin Okunola, therefore appealed to members of the public not to take law into their hands and give security operatives useful information in their domains. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Youth Corps members posted to Sokoto State have been challenged to shun all forms of irregularities and respect their host communities. Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar threw the challenge when he hosted the 2021 Batch B Stream 2 Corps members at his palace. Dalhatu Abdullahi, Sheikh Muhammad Dati reports.
It is a tradition of the Sultan to host Corps members posted to Sokoto State for a lunch and words of wisdom. The Corps members are selected based on states and the nation's capital, each having 2 representatives. The Sultan described as a blessing the coming together of brothers and sisters under one roof to strengthen unity and cohesion. He urged the Corps members to respect the norms and values of their host communities and always do right to all manners of people.
Do not allow the elite to mislead you to take up arms against your own brother who did not fight you.
The State NYSC coordinator, Muhammad Nakamba, informed the Sultan that they are at the palace for his blessings and words of advice. The visit featured questions, comments, and suggestions from the co-members. In Sokoto, Show Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
And that's it from Sokoto. The news will continue with Ruth in Abuja. Good evening.
Good evening to you too, Asmao. Thank you very much. The police in Imo State say there is no hiding place for criminals in the state as it renews determination to tackle crimes and criminality. The Commissioner of Police, Rabi Hussaini, made this known while parading alleged suspects. Lorita Arinze-Egwem has details for us.
The suspects paraded were alleged to have engaged in various crimes ranging from kidnapping to armed robbery. The arrest follows the kidnap of two persons at different locations in Imo State. The confession of two of the suspects who were earlier arrested led to the apprehension of other members of the group in their hideout located in Ebonyi State. Also paraded is a commercial driver who claimed to be an IPOB member. He was said to have hidden his locally made gun in the well-being he was meant to deliver to someone. Luck, however, ran out on him as he was intercepted by the police.
We are trying to form our own with one passion and double banner. Unfortunately, I loaded it in my vehicle with well-being in the drug. So when the police people catch me and ask me what do I have in my boots, I say it's well-being.
I know that it's very big mistake, but I promise myself and the youth to not enter into this victim because it's not used to pay.
The Commissioner of Police, Imo State Command, Rabi Hussaini, says increased patrol and visibility policing, especially at flashpoints, resulted in the level of success so far recorded in the fight against criminality in the state.
I equally want to wish the good people of Imo State for their continued support and ask them to always assist the police with credible information and report any criminal activities seen within their neighborhood.
Arms and ammunitions, charms, army uniforms, IPOB regalia and various brands of vehicles were recovered from the suspects. In Owerri, Lorita Arinze-Egwem, NTA News.
The Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, has made assurance to acquire a new power plant to support operations of NTA Maiduguri Network Center, following 9 months of total outage in most parts of Borno State due to vandalization of the national grid lines. The DG stated this while interacting with staff of the center as part of his official visit to Maiduguri on national assignment. Mohammed Ibrahim reports.
The Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, was in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, to attend a town hall meeting on vandalization of power infrastructure and had to make time to interact with staff on the way forward. The DG appreciated the management and staff of the Maiduguri Network Center for maintaining operations despite security challenges and lack of power supply from the national grid due to vandalization of power lines that led to total blackout from the national grid to Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, and assured the situation will improve.
Now, with the situation normalizing, NTA Maiduguri, is slowly but surely gaining its place as one of the best donor centers in this country. So the good news I'm giving to the workers of NTA Maiduguri Donor Center is we are doing very well, and because we are doing very well, I'll give you more work.
While responding to questions, the DG announced that requests by headquarters for upward review of staff allowances and palliative has reached the presidency awaiting approval. Zonal Director NTA Maiduguri Network Center Isha Anania Uba had requested interventions for power plant to run 10 kilowatts transmitter and more staff. He appreciated the DG for numerous support to the station, which yielded 2 vehicles and 10 million naira donation from Borno State government during his previous visit. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Ibrahim, NTA News.
All right, let's make another stop, this time around Benin Network Center, and Ogochukwuka is already set to pick up from there.
Thank you, Ruth. Good afternoon. The International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA Edo State branch, wants students to speak out when they are sexually abused. It also wants them to desist from any acts capable of endangering their future. Peter Oibo reports that the lawyers were at St. Maria Goretti Girls School in Benin on this sensitization campaign against human trafficking and other vices.
It is the back-to-school program by the female lawyers in line with the group's mandate to protect and preserve the rights of children and enlighten them more about the ills in society and their rights as well. It is also part of its measures to stem the menace of sexual abuse, prostitution, drug, courtesan, exam malpractice, and human trafficking in Edo State.
Where issues of abuse occur, we have a ready system. We have lawyers, female lawyers, who attend to these issues for free. So that's what I told the children, that if in case their parents cannot pay for the services of a lawyer where such an abuse happens, they should come to our offices. I gave them my personal numbers because these are children.
Some of the students see the campaign as timely.
Human trafficking is wrong, and if we see anyone doing such thing, we should report to the police or to the feeder group.
I really understand many things that you have told us about rape and human trafficking. To avoid human trafficking, courtesan.
I learned that prostitution is evil. We should not engage ourselves in prostitution.
For the principal of the secondary school, FIDA has helped to correct the mindset of some of the students who want to travel overseas by all means.
I'm glad they have come to speak to them, especially about these unplanned journeys traveling by land.
It is expected that the students will report any case of sexual abuse and human trafficking to FIDA or other agencies in this fight. In Benin, Peter Oebo, NTA News.
The importance of encouraging, inculcating and exposing young Nigerians to vocational, technical and entrepreneurial skills was identified as crucial as experts address the challenges and define the way forward at a conference in Benin. Paul Omukago tells us more.
For these experts, it is about time Nigeria and indeed key players in the education sector proactively resolve critical challenges that have impeded technological advancement of the country. This, they say, requires upgrading of the infrastructure, developing information communication technology-driven curriculum, and phasing out obsolete learning facilities. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, who rhetorically asked where are the teachers, said the state is working on having one technical college in each of the 18 local government areas.
Ensuring that our children have the right foundational skills, both literacy and numeracy skills, and life skills.
The only thing that can drive this country to become one that will be an envy for other countries would be when we begin to emphasize the skills acquisition.
If these things they can start from the primary school, but teach them things they can do with their hands. There are so many things to be done.
Fellowships were bestowed on dignitaries and contributors to technical and vocational education. In Benin, Paul Omukago, NTA News.
Our break is next. Then Amina will be coming up from Kaduna, where scholars are promoting education as solution to insecurity.
Youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
Dear compatriots, our country can be as great as we want.
Let us all commit ourselves to its greatness.
We must be willing to set aside our differences, unite and stay as one.
In our expansive landmass, human and material resources, and plurality lies our strength.
Let our challenges lead us to rediscover our common ground. And together, let's find solutions.
This will take some time, so it requires patience, tolerance, and forgiveness from every one of us.
Let all hands come on deck to protect and transform our country.
Let us unite
and see each other not as adversaries but as brothers and sisters.
Together, we can build a better Nigeria for ourselves and for the next generations.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA, with support from Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
I did enjoy Nollywood film, Orisun, PBO, AMC, be my best channel. But ST Nollywood Plus, they show the latest Nollywood blockbuster on top classic bouquet. How I want to watch them?
My pikin they enjoy 5 children's channels, but we won't call our DreamWorks on top.
I be telenovela lover, and I like ST Novella E and Starlight. But I hear say the series on ST Novella E Plus on top classic bouquet. The Totori person pass waiting I dey see now, and I won't watch them. Sure, I go need pay 800 naira extra.
From September 1, Star Times, they summer you better package. But no fear, we no increase price. Join this offer. Make basic bouquet subscribers just pay for 1 month and then go fit to watch 3 Ogbonge extra channels from Classic Bouquet. This I will never finish. Recharge Classic or Super Bouquet for 1 month and you fit be one of the 400 lucky people them. We go win smartphone. Terms and conditions, they shall. More value, same price. Star Times, enjoy digital life.
Title chasing Manchester United will have to overcome one more hurdle when they welcome Aston Villa to Old Trafford. Will it continue to be their theatre of dreams, or can Aston Villa throw a spanner in their works? This Saturday, it's Manchester United versus Aston Villa on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 12 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
To the full commencement of construction of Kano-Katsina-Jibia-Maradi rail line, the federal Ministry of Transportation has engaged stakeholders in Katsina on resettlement action plan scoping activities for a hitch-free execution of the project. Shio Ademo reports that another critical area in focus at the session was environmental and social impact assessment of communities to be affected by the rail project.
The 387-kilometer Kano-Katsina-Jibia-Maradi standard gauge railway project is to traverse through Free State of Kano, Katsina and Jigawa in Nigeria and terminate at the state of Maradi in Niger Republic. In Katsina State, the railway project is designed to pass through sub-local government areas of the state, which will serve as either main, medium or halt stations for the project. In view of the importance of the project, the Federal Ministry of Transportation, in collaboration with the project consultants, interacted with stakeholders to generate inputs for the smooth takeoff of the construction of the rail line.
The construction of the line, besides developing freight and passenger service and integrating it with road transport, will make a significant contribution to the enhancement of the economy.
In the EIA process, we have 2 stages of public involvement. One of such stages is why we are here today, scoping workshop.
The stakeholders who acknowledge the economic benefits of the rail line project requested the consultant to ensure that issues of resettlement are treated in line with international best practice.
It is going to engage so many hands. It is going to open so many gates of a window of employment.
To the consultant is to consider all the problems that were raised during the interactive session and try to address them positively.
Series of similar stakeholders engagement is to be extended to the affected communities at the grassroots to ensure fairness for the success of the Kano-Katsina-Jibia-Maradi railway project. In Katsina, Shehu Adamu, NTA News.
For Nigeria's moral decadence and insecurity to be addressed, special attention must be given to children education by governments at all levels. This was the submission of scholars at the 4th Islamic Education Quiz Competition organized by the Jigawa State Government. Muhammad Musa Askira reports.
Challenges of insecurity bedeviling parts of this country, the governor said, are mostly perpetrated by those claiming affinity to Islam, even though what they do part ways with the tenets of the religion. This Quranic quiz, conducted in 6 different disciplines touching every aspect of humanity, with emphasis on tolerance, respect for one another, and peaceful coexistence amidst diverse backgrounds, the governor noted will groom the younger ones with the right ideology for peace and love for one another, which is the cardinal objective of Islam.
With some sort of belief, I'm sure people will have reason to live, and when they have reason to live, they will have reason to live well, and that will help people to really understand the reason why they are in this world.
What we are now facing about the challenges, security challenges, we know that the major factors of this is ignorance.
Those people who are claiming to be taking things from Islam, had it been they know Islam very much, they would not have entered into or gone into that issue of insurgents.
The scholars congratulated the winners of the quiz, who were presented with different packages of gifts, including motorcycles, television sets, and freezers, among others. Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's back to Ruth in Abuja.
Thank you, Amina. The most effective and preventive therapy for cholera is a change in behavior and attitude towards sanitation and hygiene. Speaking on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, healthcare managers also emphasized on access to safe drinking water and measures to check recurring cholera outbreak in the country. Alika Okmanachi reports.
Dr. Basi Okwense, Director, Disease Control and Immunization at National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, highlights some of the preventive measures against cholera outbreak in Nigeria.
For the vaccines that are available, 1 dose, if taken, the first dose taken, confer immunity for about 3 months to 6 months. But when the person takes a second dose 2 to 6 weeks apart, it gives 3 to 6 years.
Speaking further on measures to contain cholera outbreak, Dr. Ewood Ndiayo, Acting Executive Secretary, Federal Capital Territory Healthcare Board, called for synergy of all coordinating response team.
The health-seeking behavior of our citizens should be improved to become very active. They should be actively involved.
If we don't change our behavior, there will be cholera, continuous outbreak of cholera. Washing our hands after eating, after going to toilet, after shaking hands with people, before you do anything, we intensify that during the Friday sermons and then in the church services.
As soon as we suspect any diarrheal diseases, the first thing we should do is to mix this oral rehydration solution in 1 liter of fluid, and then people should take it profusely before they even get to any health facility for help.
In Abuja, Alika Okmanachi, Arwa, NTA News.
The next is Sports Update.
Nigeria's senior women basketball